But I mean, overall, like let's talk about the season real quick. I mean, the season obviously was very average. I mean, it was. I mean, it's with the stuff that this season had. It's kind of sad that the best part of the season was one of the most boring parts of what was supposed to be this season, being the class training. That was the best part.
I thought you were going to say the Todoroki family.
No, I personally think the training was the best part of the season, because at least in the training, like, they really went above and beyond with like the animation for it. I mean, let's be real. The animation was awesome in those training sessions. They drug everything out, and that was kind of lame. But dude, just the way everything was animated, one, like especially with like Ida, for example, you know, really speeding things up. Still, fuck that scene of him pulling the engines out. Still hate that. Still hate that. But I mean, like, in my opinion, that was the best part of the season. And you know, coming in this season, we knew it was going to be average. Yeah. You know, we did. Yeah. But I mean, in my opinion, that was the best part of the season.
You know, you saying the whole thing with Ida and taking out the engines always makes me wonder about how the heck the quirks work, because it's mentioned before that some kids don't get their quirk until like they're like 8 to 10.
Right.
And then it activates. Then other people just, they're born with, I guess, their animalistic looks and whatnot. And all I can think of is the invisible girl. Did she initially come out invisible, or did she gain that ability once she came of age? Because regardless, both the situations are gonna be very awkward,
right?
You know, you bring up a good point too. Like, imagine being born in that world, and like you're like, everyone's like, okay, what kind of quirk am I gonna get? Maybe it's like fire or something, and like you're born looking like a fucking like lizard, and you're like, oh man, am I gonna get some cool power? And that's literally your power. You just look like a lizard.
Yeah. Yeah, you
like that would kind of, that would just kind of blow.
I mean, it's just some of those some of the people's quirks that I go, that just makes for a very awkward situation.
Right. Yeah. Like I can't remember the guy's name because he's not overly an important character, but the guy with the tail. Did that tail just sprout out? Yeah. Did that tail just sprout out one day, or was he bored with it?
Or
that's an important question. I need to know these answers.
What's his name? Tsukiyami, the dude with the bird head. Did he have a bird head when he was born, or did he just like turn into a bird? I
question that all the time.
I believe he might have been born with, or not born with it, but it became, because like the rest of his body, at least as far as we've seen, is just perfectly human.
Yeah,
it's only the bird head.
So weird.
It's only the bird head, but versus like Suya, our frog girl, the few times it showed her family, all of them sort of have that froggy look to them naturally. So they were born like that, and that's apparently a natural thing for people's body structures in this world.
But did okay, so while we're on this, did Manita just like wake up one day and his hair fell out and he just had grapes on his head, or?
That's such a good question.
Now we're getting to the real like.
We're getting down the rabbit hole of how disturbing the fact that the whole world of quirks can be, with just the whole thing. It's more or less another thing of, they don't just have puberty, they also have a quirk puberty that they have to deal with, and whether it happens when they're born, or whether when they become older before they hit puberty. Oh, that's gonna be fucking bad. First you gotta go through dealing with attaining your quirk, then you gotta go through puberty.
Yeah, I can just see it with Minata, man. He I can see him just like taking a shower or something. All of a sudden, it's like shit's just falling out, shit's sticking to the walls. He's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Or not even that, just like suddenly he had balls that grew out of his hair. His hair was just perfectly fine, and then just one morning when he wakes up.
Yeah, this dude had just like long brown hair until the age of 8, and then it's just great.
I have so many questions now about My Hero Academia that I've never had before. It's like, Jesus Christ. I'm going to be thinking about this all night now. Damn it.